Headlines: Man found murdered in a house in Cocorit. 8-month-old baby killed in a car crash. Businessman arrested with stolen goods. And internationally, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he is immensely proud in his resignation speech. And now the news in detail. A man identified as Barry James, alias Barry Foods, was found murdered at his home at Pitilal Hill Waterhole in Cocorit this morning. The deceased was suspected to be killed about 2 days ago and was only discovered dead this morning. Several spent shells were recovered on the scene. Meanwhile, an unidentified man was shot dead in Las Lomas last night. According to reports around 11 p.m., police received a report of a shooting along Soraya Branch Trace, Las Lomas No. 3. When the officers arrived, they observed the body of a man lying on the roadway with gunshot wounds to his head. An 8-month-old baby was killed in a car crash on Monday. Karel Armstrong sustained fatal injuries after the vehicle he was in, along with his 32-year-old mother, crashed into a truck that was parked along the bypass road in Arima at about 2 p.m. The child and his mother, along with a 41-year-old man who was driving the car, were all rushed to the Arima hospital. However, the baby succumbed to injuries. According to reports, both baby and mother were in the back seat of the car at the time of the accident. A 47-year-old business owner has been arrested for knowingly receiving 16 stolen bottles of pure white Hennessy cognac. The suspect, who is from Piccadilly Street, Currap, was held at about 3:30 p.m. yesterday during a police operation. The officers had received intelligence that a quantity of alcohol, which had been part of a large number of cigarettes and drinks stolen on June 30th from an establishment in Piarco, had been spotted at a business place along 2nd Caledonia Road in Morvant. When the officers arrived, they found the 16 bottles which made up part of the report, and the 47-year-old owner of the store was unable to give a reasonable account or receipts as to where he procured the liquor. He was detained as a result, and the bottles were seized. Internationally, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced his resignation Thursday, marking the end of his time at the top of UK politics. After resisting calls to step down for nearly 2 days, Johnson admitted to the world's media outside number 10 Downing Street in London that it is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader and a new Prime Minister. He added that the process of that should begin now and that a timetable should be announced next week. Johnson insisted in his resignation statement that he believed it would be ill-advised to change governments when they are delivering so much and when they have such a vast mandate and when they are actually only a handful of points behind in the polls. And that was the 4 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online, Facebook and YouTube. Recapping the headlines: man found murdered in a house in Cocorit. 8-month-old baby killed in a car crash. Businessman arrested with stolen goods. And internationally, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he is immensely proud in his resignation speech. Do enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas. Miss Aisha Wells, the Queen of Talk. She's up next.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com. The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the street. 919 FM.
Your child is beginning to discover the world. It's time to let them explore. Clim 1 Plus contains calcium, iron, and vitamins that support their defenses, helping to promote a healthy immune system and normal growth. After all, your little explorer has the whole world to discover. Clim, your love, their future. Clim 1 Plus is not a breast milk substitute. It is specially suited from 1 year onward.
Councillor for Monrepo Navet, Nigel Cotier presents Splash. Bubbles and Foam. Saturday, 9th July at Monterey Post Grounds from 10 a.m. Splash, Bubbles and Foam. Lots of prizes to be won. Look out for the Councillors Cup Small Goal. Register now by calling the Councillor's office at 610-2861. All teams must be registered. There is no registration fee. Splash, Bubbles and Foam. Saturday, 9th July, Monterey Post Grounds from 10 a.m. The football starts at 10 a.m. and the fun events will start at 3 p.m.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Onia Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud. Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Tune into the street 91.9 FM.
Every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
For the Repairing of the Breach radio program with me, Bishop Showinal Thomas.
The scripture says, and they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in.
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on the street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Good about I'm looking like it real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959 to 814723 or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat I look like it's on wet.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
It's like them no remember when Judge send them on who free up Daniel, free up Lot and save Jonah. And the same man fail for the future. Some can't wait them fly the gate and get shoot ya. Courthouse case that based on untruth ya. Praise Jah good and reap Jah good fruit ya. Revelation, Genesis, Numbers and Esther. Hey, hey. Something is wrong with man. Oh, I just can't understand. Building their house on sinking sand. Jah gonna take everything. But sometimes I don't know what to do. To some people I can't get through. When your nation calls on you, you got to leave everything. Well, stand there, observe them practice. Nuclear, devious tactics. Rasta tell them say to live and them go kill. Put a fire upon all bush. Me don't get out them brethren bill. Them can't find them, it's cure still. And when them do, poor people people can't afford the pill. In the ghetto, daddy never write no will. You can't get no work if you no possess no skill. Hey, hey. Something is wrong with man. Oh, they just can't understand. Building their house on sinking sand. Jah gonna take everything. Sometimes I don't know what to do. To some people I can't get through. But when your nation calls on you, you got to leave everything. It's like Rasta talk, them go up, them no learn, should them no listen. Them all think we smart, man of the lion, them are the kitten. Them daily horoscope, a modern superstition. Can't lock we in a them mental prison. Me promise I will never sell my virgin free position. Love, it is not the pagan's decision. Unite, like all of the Ethiopian tradition. But humanity in front religion. Something is wrong with man. Oh, they just can't understand. Building their house on sinking sand. Jah gonna take everything. And sometimes I don't know what to do. To some people I can't get through. But when your nation calls on you, you got to leave everything.
Yeah, million votes. Yeah, God bless the herb and the herb has blessed. Babylon them sees the mess. Tell them it's my chest. Oh, Jam bless the herb. Yeah, yeah. It's been 11 nights, 11 days. Nothing ever burning on me fight. Nothing's never with me. It's Babylon that them cut down all the earth tree. Earning this malalalin. Boom. Upon me them me ever calalalin. Boom. Somebody listen me, me. Yeah, yeah, mola me live in the city, so me run to the hill until the philosophy. Oh, one way superior and another inferior. Tell Babylon, me got it by the youngs and the phones and truck. Me is a youth man, me just don't give up. And if you don't like that, Babylon, you don't like that. This seed falling on your garden, plant it up. Me like a volcano, see me ready for erupt. 2006 million is blazing hot. The fire burn you, then try burn it back. You can't burn it back, you can't burn it back. Some say million guns, full beer. Must just stick and no make a big full beer. And top of that, me got a jet pan me heard that when me blaze up the fire, see the wicked get scared. It's been 11 nights, 11 days. Nothing ever burning on me pipe. Nothing's never with me. It's Babylon and them a come down the earth tree. Early this malalanin, boom. Upon me now me ever calalalin, boom. Somebody do it to me farming. Yeah, Jamola me live in the city then. Every morning see me up, say me prayer. Give thanks and to the Almighty. Alright,
oh yeah, King David say yeah. Listen, you live here, you'll see what's happening. In a the ghetto where suffering. I know last see daily.
So let me start off by saying a very special good afternoon to you, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Let me say good afternoon to those of you locking me down right now on the internet. I am talking about those who are locking me down on YouTube and on Facebook. How are you doing today? Send those numbers up. You know how we do. The last time I checked, the Prime Minister's press conference was still ongoing, so I know a lot of people on that press conference live. I wonder if we could catch the last few minutes of it, boy. Let's see if we could get the last few minutes of the Prime Minister's press conference before we jump into today's show. Let's see what's going on over there.
The crime, is it having better detection of crime, having stronger prosecution, having quicker trials? What do you think is the solution? Because we have gaps in the system.
Well, if I take where you started saying that the whole question of treating with crime in the justice system is a series of moving parts. If I take that as I have taken it, I think it is relatively easy to see that you cannot take one part that is fashioned fit for purpose here and put it there. Now, much of what you have said there have nothing to do with the restriction of bail for 120 days. What you raised there is the whole question of the speed at which justice is dispensed overall. And I agree with everything you have said there about how slow it is and how low the detection level is and so on. But that is just one part of the many moving parts. So if one wants to argue the logical conclusion of what you just said, I was afraid that you were going to say that we shouldn't bother to arrest anybody. But I noticed you didn't go there because you were not saying that. But if one takes it to its logical conclusion about how slow it is and people are still going to commit crime even after so-and-so, then logically, well then in which case I could say, well, don't bother to go after them and bring them in and lock them up. And I'm sure you're not saying that. So there are very many moving parts in the system. It's like an aircraft engine. Every single part is required to be working well if the craft is going to stay in the air. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm telling tears out of school here. I said so publicly a few weeks ago, a few months ago. The rate at which justice is dispensed in this country, for whatever reason, is just unacceptably slow. As Prime Minister of this cabinet, I have gone over and above the consideration of what can the government do to facilitate an acceleration in the justice system. And I'm not seeing it. In other words, we are making the investment and we're not seeing it. I don't know what is the reason, but I'm sure if we are able to improve our detection and also to dispense justice in a more in a swifter fashion, that will have some effect on the situation. But to have to say that you know, I'm not happy, I don't think there's anybody in the country who's saying that we're happy with the rate. I mean, for a person to be in detention, in remand for 15 years, that is just unacceptable. And the one question I would ask is, how did this happen? How? I don't know the details. I've read about it, I've heard about it. Question is, why is this happening?
So, Prime Minister, taking your answer as it is, the police, they have a very critical role in terms of bringing charges with credible evidence. And oftentimes you would see serious criminal cases are falling down because of police not being prepared to prove the case that they have brought before the court. And in the meantime, that person, as you just said, and you agreed with me, that they would have spent a considerable period of time incarcerated on a charge, an allegation. They're still presumed innocent, even though they may have multiple charges. It's the onus is on the state, and the state in this regard is the police, to bring credible evidence which will stand the test before the jury. And that is, we are not seeing that because it is a fact that the conviction rate is very, very low. It's not where it ought to be. And the only reason that could possibly be is because people are not believing what the police are saying. And that, to me, is a very, very serious concern.
Are you talking about the conviction rate or the detection rate? Because these are two different rates, eh? And the conviction rate will always be the system of detection of crime, identification of the perpetrator, and the establishment of guilt is a plus or minus system. We don't have a system like all the two countries that I can name where once you are arrested, you are guilty. You have just said it. It's a presumption of innocence. That means there will be times when that presumption is deemed not to be sufficiently strong because there are thresholds to which you have to rise to get that conviction. You might hear that A, B, C, D was done. We are not arguing with that. It has been done. But E, F was not done, and therefore you lose the case. So you have to go to this arbiter, which is the court, to determine if you will have that freedom or if you'll be convicted. And I'm sure that we don't spend as much time analyzing the many instances where the conviction is had because the case is proven. I think we spend more time talking about, especially the high sensationalized ones, where a person get off, as we call it. But in many instances, if you ask me now, I'll be able to tell you, of all the cases that go to the court, do we have more being convicted or less? I don't have that figure. But I can tell you, the system presumes that you're innocent until you're proven guilty. That innocence can be established by a single witness fumbling a line in an answer. A policeman could work 25 hours for the day for 3 years, and at the moment a particular question is put to a witness and the case turns on that. It doesn't mean that the case should not have been brought. And as I said before, the system is not one where once you are arrested and charged that you are guilty, and guilt must be found, and guilt has been proven. There are a couple of countries that have that system. I'm sure you don't want that here.
Do you agree that remand yard is a place where people come out of it more seasoned in their criminal behavior, activity, and
as it is operating now, I would say yes. It's a place that nobody should want to be, and the way it is operating now, remand means what? Mr. Hans, you know the meaning of remand?
Yes, pending your trial.
Right.
Kept in custody.
It's a holding bay.
Pending trial.
It's a holding bay. Yeah. But two things happen there. One, the volume of people alleged to have committed crimes make the remand yard highly populated. Two, people who end up in remand and for whom bail is available, under even the best of terms, can't make the bail. We have done a number of things. For example, we changed the bail matter, cash bail is available. We intervened to make cash available so that you can get bail. The court is to notice that and set bail where bail can be reached. Yeah? Then also we talked about allowing judge-only trials, so you don't have to work the long system of the, and we also talk about removing people who would have been there rotting for marijuana that they smoked. We made marijuana, the use of marijuana by an individual, a small quantity, not illegal and so on. So there are some things we've done to take that pressure off the remand.
Take people while they are stuck there so that they don't come out worse than they went in.
Well, as I said, there are a number of moving parts, and that is one of them. You know, rehabilitation is one, but you know, you can only be rehabilitated in a system. If you're innocent, nobody can come to rehabilitate you. It is the ones that are convicted that, you know, and maybe sentenced, that go now into some element of rehabilitation. And as you know, rehabilitation is a promise, it's not a guarantee. There's no guarantee that this effort to rehabilitate you will change your attitude. You know, there are these kinds of problems. But fortunately, I think it is a small number of people who are in that situation. And therefore, we ought to be able to make a better effort and a stronger effort to not let this small population of people be such an issue in the country.
Can you say what happened to the promise to eliminate preliminary inquiries?
That matter, we passed some of it in the Parliament. I think some of it is proclaimed. And we are working towards, it is in operation, there's some proclamation issue. And of course, the last I heard, there was some last minute requests for some tweaking. But the intention is, as we did say and do in the Parliament, that we would move the system to one where preliminary inquiries, which is that first trial, before a trial, does not form part of the system, because that was, in fact, deemed to be a major contributor in terms of how long a person You know, but there are people who are opposing that way because there are people who believe that their best chance is to get to a preliminary inquiry and try and not get the matter heard so that the evidence doesn't come out. And therefore, if you can escape at a preliminary, and the preliminary inquiry becomes a whole trial by itself. Initially, a preliminary inquiry, as Sir Larry would say, in my early days, I knew a preliminary inquiry was just to establish whether, in fact, a prima facie case was made out against you, and that somebody wasn't just charging you and jailing you capriciously. Now the preliminary inquiry is a matter for the Privy Council and every comma whose shoelaces tie, who buttered the bread and so on. All that is in a preliminary inquiry because there are people, once they have the means, for whom the preliminary inquiry is their best attempt to escape justice. And people who have that problem, I don't know that we can say don't try to escape justice. The law provides the openings and they use it. And the government from time to time will come in and try to prevent the escape through hatches and loopholes. So it's an ongoing, evolving thing. Yes.
One of the things that I presume is before you, I understand that the President, Office of the President would have written to you in relation to existing vacancy for the Deputy Director of the Police Complaints Authority. The Act, as it is, there must be a Director and a Deputy Director for that body to operate. The vacancy came about on June 28th, if I'm correct, and since then there have been 4 fatal police killings. 3 of them, including the teenagers who were shot dead on Independence Square, and another guy who was killed in Mova. I'm told that there are some mechanisms in place for the PCA to continue to operate, but not the way that it should be, to gather the intelligence, to gather the evidence, to ensure that there's no possibility of cover-up in those cases. Is that a matter that you are dealing with? Have you consulted the opposition leader on this matter so that that vacancy can be filled with expedition?
The Police Complaints Authority, to the best of my knowledge, continues to function. The Police Complaints Authority doesn't go out of office because the deputy is not there. But steps are taken to appoint a deputy upon the end of the term of that the person was there. You correctly said that person's term came to an end, the contract came to an end on the 28th of June, which was 2 days before the end of the month. It requires the appointment is done by the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition agreeing, and if that agreement is not had, then the President can go ahead and do it in her own right. I can tell you that the system is working. I have received the request. I have put it to the opposition leader. Only, I think that correspondence started moving on the 1st of July. And it is moving. It is now with the opposition leader to determine whether she agrees with what is put before her. Based on my agreement or disagreement on hers, and it will put the President in a position very soon to make an appointment, either based on what we have agreed to do, these 2 offices, Prime Minister and Opposition Leader, or if we can't agree, the President will proceed to appoint somebody. That is the law. And so therefore, it is not really accurate to say that because the deputy is not there, they can't proceed to look at these matters that you have mentioned. However, the role of the deputy is important, otherwise there wouldn't have been a deputy there. But the absence of the deputy for a few days doesn't mean that the entity is not functioning.
I want to go back to something you spoke on earlier. You spoke about the issue of food availability and food security. You being a farmer, I'm sure that you would go to your garden and reap what you eat. How has you changed your diet to move away from foreign inputs? And what advice would you give to the average person in trying to be able to change their diets, to move away from the foreign inputs? Yes, there are certain things that we are accustomed to, like cereals and so forth, but there are certain things that I'm sure that we can grow here. And on the flip side of that, we spoke about the CARICOM countries, including the state in Brazil being a 14th state for CARICOM. Are we going to say who plants what, so so that they will not be a glut?
Well, all of those things, let me answer the first part first. My personal diet is like everybody else. It's personal. You decide what taste you like and what you eat more than others. And of course, some of us make an effort to eat what is deemed to be the healthy food and not just the tasty one. So I haven't had personally to make any adjustment in my own diet, because the things that I like, which is what really drives the diet, is what you like, you eat, are still available. Some of it I produce myself, some of it I acquire. And a lot of it, our country produces a fair amount of healthy food, fresh vegetables in particular, but that does not form a sufficient part of the diet of the local population. And that is an area where circumstances sometimes push you to that, because once you can get what you like, you do not set about to change it. In areas where there's real difficulty, you eat what keeps you alive, and we're not there yet. So I would think that if we are to strengthen our position, a diet change, even a small shift, would be useful and may be forced upon us. I mean, the external prices of some of the staples that we have been accustomed to, that price pressure might cause some people to think maybe I could use something else that is cheaper, which incidentally may turn out to be healthier. So these are things that we encourage. The school feeding program, we expect that when it restarts in September and going forward, that we are going to be looking very closely at what is fed to the children, because one, from a health standpoint, and the other from an affordability standpoint. And finally, there are some inputs in food preservation that are unhealthy. One is sugar, the other is salt, and the third one is fat. Those three things are major inputs into our diet. And because we have paid no attention to that, our country has a huge problem with respect to non-communicable diseases, which means lifestyle diseases. And I think our national conversation, our health, our sport, our conversations need to focus a bit on that. There is some of it going on, but not enough.
Prime Minister, you spoke about a ban, an export ban, a possible export ban on used metals. Any sort of timeline for that?
I'm awaiting the guidance of the Attorney General to tell me what we can do and how we can do it before I can answer that question. But certainly, we are not producing those metals in this country. We import them for a particular purpose. And when they are put to use, other people are coming to take them out to sell them. And in so doing, disrupting our lives in a very significant way. So the first thought is that we not trade in them, to deny the incentive for the thieves to take them out. And then we take it from there.
Hearing sometime about an audit of firearms in TTPS. What has happened to that? And will the report be made available to stakeholders such as the Parliament and the Police Service Commission, both of which have to adjudicate on persons applying to the senior position in the
Well, I wouldn't say that it has to do with persons applying. I don't want to go there at all. But certainly, the report, my understanding is that there's a very professional team that is doing a fairly in-depth examination of the data within the police service, and that report should be available sometime in the very near future. Given the nature of the terms of reference, I see no reason why that report would not be available for public consumption. And certainly, whatever is found there, I think because of the role that the commission plays in the management. We've had public conversations, allegations from investigators about the management of that particular department. So I'm anticipating that. I don't know what the report will contain, but I know what the terms of reference are. And if the terms of reference are stuck to, they should present us with a body of data that should be of interest to a wide cross-section of the population. Last question.
Sir, my last question, I would have asked you a question on just before you traveled to Suriname, and you got a bit cross with me. But I will ask you the question again.
If what you're saying is true, that you asked me a question, I was cross with you, but you're going to ask me again. Either you think I'm mad, or you want me to get cross with you again, and I don't think so.
The public's interest.
The public? Come on.
So prior to your appointment of Attorney General Reginald Armour, you must have had a conversation with him as to what cases he may have been involved in, what cases he ought to recuse himself in. You must be aware that this matter in Miami is the largest civil forfeiture claim the state has brought against those charged in the Piaco matter. Mr. Armour is saying that he forgot how deeply involved he was in the matter on an affidavit. It has been in the public domain that Mr. Armour would have gone to court on numerous times. He would have made serious legal arguments. He would have been paid substantial fees. He was a senior counsel at the time. He's saying now that he can't recall those things. What I'm asking is, when you had that initial conversation to ask Mr. Armour, please join my cabinet soon, did he say, well, okay, I have these matters, but I wouldn't be able to deal with it? Or did you ask him, can you give me full disclosure so when I'm making my determination for you to be the second most senior member of my cabinet, I will know where you stand?
Mr. Abraham, all of that description is good, and I would love to see you at the cabinet table or somewhere else making it. Mr. Armour is not a pick-up side person who was brought into the cabinet as Attorney General. Mr. Armour is a person of high distinction who functioned in this country as a judge on the bench. And certainly when he was offered the position, the question of him not continuing his business as a practitioner would have been understood and agreed to. But to ask me if I asked him about all the cases and identified this case and that case and this case and that case, all of that would have been covered by the understanding that as Attorney General, you cannot function as a practitioner practicing for anybody. But as Attorney General, coming to represent the public and advising the cabinet, there certainly would be no limit to the advice that he can give the cabinet. And of course, if there's a conflict while he's doing that, he knows what to do, and he has done that. And I will say no more. I told you early on, I will say no more on this matter. Maybe one of these days when you and I are having a beer, we'll discuss it further. But right now, where it's at, that kind of interpretation that you are putting on it is not going to serve the purpose. And I'm glad to see that you have identified and that the whole idea of this matter of fraud against the state is so important that it is now attracting the attention of the media. I say no more. I let the court do its work. And with respect to who I select to put in the cabinet, I take full responsibility for that. And with respect to the motive as to why anybody will do what you are implying that is done, the case has not been made. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you all again sometime soon. We have one more question.
Comment on what the shifting power in the UK.
The what?
the shift in power in the UK, are there any lessons for us in that scenario, given that it came out?
Yeah. I saw the guy, it's the Express, right? I saw the Express this morning. Of all the pictures the Express could use this morning, you used me and Boris Johnson. Where is that? Boris Johnson had 1 million pictures in the Express. The one day he loses his office, you put me on the front page. No, I am a little saddened by it. Mr. Johnson came in with a tremendous support, but it only goes to show, that when you are in these positions, how precarious your tenure can be. But the British system is very strong. The British people are very wily in dealing with politicians and politics, and we are into a very interesting period now. I don't think there's much more that one can say on that. I think he's done what he thinks is the best for the country, and it's for us to enjoy the news going forward. We learn from everything every day. Life is a continuous education for all of us. Thank you very much.
This
keeping my brethren down poor, you don't study pride, because you live here, you'll see what's happening. In the ghetto we're suffering, and all I see daily is tears and frown.
All right, good looking people. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for staying with us. 323 people on Facebook. And of course, 197 people on YouTube. And I think you know where we're going to go today, at least in this hour. You've heard the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. He had a one-on-one with the media. He touched on various issues that the public wanted him to touch on upon his return from the U.S. As you know, Dr. Rowley visited Suriname and returned to Trinidad and decided, you know what? Let us have this conversation. Well, he did. Are you satisfied with the PM's responses to the questions the public wanted answers for? I'm going to open up the lines pretty early. Doc looked like he's very relaxed. He was calm. He was smiling. He even entertained the reporter who pissed him off at the last meeting, and he was cool. Are you comfortable with Doc's responses? Well, Andrew Duke on Facebook is saying no. Andrew, why aren't you comfortable with Doc's response? Ron the MC says no. What in Dr. Rowley's response are you not comfortable with? All right, let's see who else is there. Jalan King says Rowley must go. People don't want you. Hayden Thomas say when they open the bars, they should put Kamala's picture. Lord, how did that end up in there? And A. Cole says, hello, Aisha, how you doing? I'm good. Diane Payne says yes. Aisha, I am comfortable with Dr. Rowley's response to the questions asked. Amos Cambridge says Dr. Rowley is the best prime minister in the Caribbean. And Anne-Marie Montique is saying, yes, I am very comfortable. So the lines are open. We are taking your calls. I'm going to play you some voice notes in a short while. Dr. Rowley had everything to say based on the responses and questions from the media. What's your response? Let's see who's on the outside. Caller, you live.
Good afternoon, Aisha.
How you doing, Gemma?
Give me the right name, please.
How you doing, PNM Gemma?
Thank you. Once in my Prime Minister that I love so dearly, anything he said, no, I disagree with him 1,000,000%. Okay? Right. I agree.
So, Gemma, you're comfortable with the questions? You have no problem with his responses? You cool with that?
None whatsoever.
What about the last question Rhea asked him in relation to Boris Johnson resigning? And if it have any lessons in there for us, how you think he handled that one?
Perfect.
Perfectly.
1,000,000%.
All right, Gemma.
Thank you. Let's play sometime.
You felt it was an out of place question?
Very, very much. What
right.
John had to do with what's in Trinidad is a different kettle of fish.
All right.
Entirely. You understand? I find some of them not overdo it.
All right. Have your say, guys. Have your say. Let's go.
Good evening, Aisha. Aisha, I don't know what is going on. Sharon and Google program does have all the statics. When coming to the 2 o'clock program and your program, everything clear. Could you all please work on that, please? Concerning Dr. Rowley's speech, fabulous, magnificent, proudest prime minister in the best prime minister in the Caribbean, a second the first one.
Thank you so much. Well, I don't know what happens on a daytime with Sharon and Google show and the static issue, but it's something that we definitely have to look into. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. I know management probably listening, and they also going to get in on the inside. So thank you so much. All right, the lines are open. We continue to take your calls. You heard him. He talked for a better part of 2 hours. Are you comfortable with what he says? All right, so Ban Bango says it's not a speech. Okay. Genevieve Priam says you need to throw away your radio, Mom. Is your radio? Okay, maybe it's Mom's radio. So Andrew Duke says you all love to see poor people suffer, huh? Cleavon is responding to, okay. And all right, good. So guys, don't respond to each other, but respond to my question. Dr. Rowley had everything to say as he responded to reporters who felt there were questions that he had to answer. Some people felt he would run from it. I remember one political analyst says that Dr. Rowley is going to run from it. He's not going to answer. Well, he answered. What's your thoughts? Let's see who's there. Caller, you live?
It's me, Aisha. Good afternoon to you and everybody listening and hearing.
How you doing, darling?
I'm good. Yes, we having problem with your station. If it's not those stations, I think it's somebody doing that. Yeah? But anyway, let me get on with your question. Of course, I'm satisfied so far. Aisha, I don't have the answers for those questions asked, and I think he did it the best way he can for us. And I think he's doing well because we have people coming to our country which are not national citizens, and they are also doing well. It's up to our people to try and work, plan the land and process the product so we can have something for later on. Because you hear what's happening in the world, just now we would not be able to import, not just because we don't have the finances, because we have nothing out there for us to import. So let's do our best. Thank you and have a pleasant evening, Aisha.
Thank you so much. You know, it's really scary when you look at what is happening internationally. So we're changing gears in the next hour. Let me just say the persons who made a promise to support the nighttime program, I would expect some of you to keep well on your promise. You know, we had people calling some of you today after you left your number, no answer. Some people say, Aisha, we're going to do it today. We ain't get nothing. Aisha, we go call you, don't hurt your head. We still waiting. Please remember, in order to keep the nighttime show going, we need funding. And if we don't have the funding, then there's not going to be any nighttime show. So I'm just giving a courtesy reminder to those of you who made pledges yesterday to make well on your pledges, please. Please and thanks. Shari Bartholomew says, I'm totally satisfied with the PM's answers. While Mavis Paul says there's nothing those journalists could ask the doctor that he couldn't answer. While Anne-Marie Solomon said Dr. Rowley stand up like a boss and he answered every question. Shari Bartholomew says, I am totally satisfied. All right, let me go over to YouTube and read your comments over there. Ian Bristol says, we have one of the best PMs in the world and almost half of the world population. All right, let's see. Quasi says, I wasn't getting you guys on the radio this morning and I'm in Port of Spain. All right, Marlon Blaze says, Kamala opposition forever is... Okay, I couldn't read that on here. And Ban Bango says, Aisha with the news report, Kamala needs to tell what the UNC's position is on Ishan Steve, like Pandey stated his opinion. And A. Cole says, yes, Aisha, he did do like, I did like his answers. He did what he was supposed to do. All right, goodly people. I'm going to take that break. When we come back, we're going to switch gears. Stay with us.
They don't know. If they live here, they'll see what's happening. They get to their suffering. Politicians, they don't care at all. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Didn't get no tea this morning. Now they get to where balling. And poverty killing them from their small. From the front gates of the ghetto to the back doors of parliament.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
You ready? Let the pumping start, 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 start. Let the wine start, start.
Join the winning team with Pastor Alkaline John every Monday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m. and every Wednesday evening from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. live on the Street 919 FM as he talks about Lviv, the power of 5 fruits, one of the most powerful antioxidant supplements on the market today. The 5 superfruits in Lviv are mangosteen, acai, pomegranate, gogi, and nuni. These fruits have a positive and profound impact on human health, performance, and disease. Listen to Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday at 9:05 a.m. and Wednesday at 7 p.m. on the Street 919 FM as he gives live testimonials of the Lviv healing powers. To get more information, you can contact Pastor Alkaline John at 516-286-7079, 516-286-7079, or you can visit his webpage at www.alkalinejohn.com.
Every Friday, it's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays with MC Duke and Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays on the Street 919 FM. Don't know.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the old-time gospel hour all-night prayer. This and every Friday evening on the Street 919 FM from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com. Councillor for Monrepo Navet, Nigel Cotier, presents Splash, Bubbles and Foam. Saturday, 9th July at Monrepo's grounds from 10 a.m. Splash, Bubbles and Foam. Lots of prizes to be won. Look out for the Councillor's Cup Small Goal. Register now by calling the Councillor's office at 610-2861. All teams must be registered. There is no registration fee. Splash, Bubbles and Foam. Saturday, 9th July, Monrepo grounds from 10 a.m. The football starts at 10 a.m. and the fun events will start at 3 p.m.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
Tune into the street 91.9 FM
every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
for the Repairing of the Breach radio program with me, Bishop Showinau Thomas.
The scripture says, "And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in."
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on the street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Hi, I'm Valentine Garcia.
And I'm Nikki Garcia.
Please join us on the Final Hour broadcast every Thursday at 9 a.m. on the street 919 FM radio.
Every week we will journey into the amazing Word of God. So please join us.
See you then.
Good about I'm looking like it real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it as well.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Right about now, ladies and gentlemen, following who coming after her to come damn good. Would you please welcome the Calypso King of the world? Let me bring on Swinger Francisco, the mighty.
Say them a rasta, and them not know about Jaja. Say them a Muslim, and them not know about Utala. Say them a rasta, and the boy not know a scripture. Them a Muslim, and them can't recite a surah. Nothing a guan for the community the way you are guan. Nothing a guan for the community the way you are guan. Nothing a guan for the community the way you are guan. Nothing a guan for the community the way you are guan. Yeah, change up your attitude and show some gratitude. All the negative energy you got to refuse. Let God be your fuel, you don't be no fool. Educate yourself cause in this world knowledge rules. And energy is real, so watch the things you do. Ain't no messing that shit for real, yes I'm telling you. So live with love, live with love. Say them a rasta, and them not know about Jaja. Say them a Muslim, and them not know about Utala. Say them a rasta, boy no know a scripture. KKK them a Muslim and them can't recite a surah. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Slavery get digital now. Ay. This is why your spiritual now. Wow. The Bible tell me live in peace with all men if possible. The Quran said if you kill an innocent man, you kill the whole of mankind. The verse them can't find. Them only want for bust 9 hearts of men get unkind. But me done pray them strategy. Best Sadducees and Pharisees. Them dwelling in sin. Isaac and Ishmael, them are the same kin. Frequency, them and they throw them offline. Searching for something with them can't find. Biggest enemy, that's your own mind. Every man responsible for him decision. Yet them a fight for religion. Say them a Rasta, and them not know about Jaja. Say them a Muslim, and them not know about Utala. Say them a Rasta, and the boy not know a scripture. KKK them a Muslim, and them can't recite a surah. Say them a Rasta, and them not know about Jaja. Say them a Muslim, and them not know about Utala. Say them a Rasta, and the boy not know a scripture. KKK them a Muslim, and them can't recite a surah. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Yeah, change up your attitude and show some gratitude. All the negative energy you got to refuse. Let God be your fuel, you don't be no fool. Educate yourself cause in this world knowledge rules. And energy is real, so watch the things you do. Ain't no missing that shit for real, yes I'm telling you. So live in love, live in love. Say them a Rasta, and them not know about Jaja. Say them a Muslim, and them not know about Utala. Say them a Rasta, and the boy no know a scripture. KKK them a Muslim, and them can't recite a surah. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Slavery get digital now. Ay.
All right, good looking people. We are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. So, 3 issues to touch on. So we're just going to run down the list and touch on the first one. Who looking for me there? Where Aisha? Look, Aisha right here. All right. So according to the Newsday, 56 minutes ago, autopsies of the 3 victims involved in the police shootings were all shot from behind. According to the article, the 3 people that died in the police-involved killing last Saturday were all shot behind, according to their autopsies. Speaking with the media at the scene of the killings on Independence Square on Thursday, relatives of the 3 shared the results of the autopsies, which identified that each of them was shot to the back of the head or in their backs. On Wednesday, Newsday spoke with the mother of one of the three who survived the alleged shootout and was told the teen is traumatized. The 15-year-old was supposed to visit the site with relatives but told his attorney, Umlala, that he was still too distraught to speak publicly or even return to the scene. Since the shooting, 4 members of the Guard and Emergency Branch have been placed on clerical duties while the Police Complaints Authority carry out separate investigations. On Monday, protesters blocked the east and westbound lanes of the Beetham Highway and the bus route, demanding justice for the lives of Fabian Richards, 21, 17-year-old Leonardo Nico Williams, and Isaiah Roberts. The 3 were part of 6 who police claimed shot at them, prompting them to return fire in response. All 3 were from Sandy Trace, St. Babs, Laventil Road. Roberts was supposed to leave the country yesterday to visit his mother, who is in the U.S. He will be buried tomorrow. Richards will be buried on Monday and Williams will be buried on Tuesday. Hours after protests on Monday, one of the 2 survivors who were arrested was released without charge. The second was released on Tuesday, and the injured teens were discharged from hospital on Tuesday and released after giving a statement to police at the Woodbrook station. So now we have a lot more questions than answers. If you are shooting at the police, which prompted the police to return fire, then how all 3 of them were shot in their heads and back? Unless this happened when the vehicle was stopped, police came out and shot. But to say that the car is driving and you shoot up the car and those persons died, but they were all shot in their head and back, then some story missing parts. Like I said, we have the station diary reports. We have the names of the police officers. We have the vehicle number. We have all this information. But I don't want to bring it public just yet because I don't want to jeopardize the PCA's investigation. That's the only reason why I mean go public with it yet. But the police story and the autopsy is leaving us with more questions than answers. And I just wanted to touch on that briefly while we move on to another topic. But before we go, let me let you know, with all that is happening in Beetham Gardens, Watson Duke didn't lose an opportunity to get down there today and, of course, allow himself to be interviewed talking to the members of the family. For those of you who did not see the interview, you can take a look at it here. It's trending all over social media, and you may want to look. Let me just pull it up here for you. What is this? I just see the damn live, man. So let me pull up that live and get it for you. And if it's on his page.
You are gone. Nothing a gone for the community the way you are gone. Slavery get digital now. Ay. This is why your spiritual now. Wow. The Bible tell me live in peace with all men if possible. The Quran said if you kill an innocent man, you kill the whole of mankind. The first them can't find. Them only want to bust 9 hearts of men get unkind. But me don't pray them strategy. Best Sadducees and Pharisees. Them dwelling in sin. Isaac and Ishmael, them are the same kin. Frequency them and they throw them offline. Searching for something with them can't find. Biggest enemy that are your own mind. Every man responsible for him decision. Yet them a fight for religion. Them a Rasta, and them not know about Jaja. Say them a Muslim, and them not know about Utala. Say them a Rasta, and the boy don't know a scripture. Them a Muslim, and them can't recite a surah.
All right, so let me get some of your. Let me see here. All right, so we have it here.
Just on the way home after. You're just intercepting and you're having a conversation with her. Let's see what's happening here. My dear, you look lovely, but I know you are under stress. Class. On that. How are you going? What were you doing?
Somebody come in the room, they asked me when I'm saying I'm going to tell you going on a birthday party. They say only now get a news that the owner one boys and men, they're killing a couple of sheep at the farm. When we come out and we went down, we going in the hospital, we see the
white sheet?
The spots where they are.
Okay, wow.
He was around post was still I know where they but every time he was trying to go to see what they feel. Then get a positive report in the hospital and still didn't get to see him when going to find out I asked a question and I asked to go back to the scripture to find out whether that particular case here or my son one of the doesn't say tell me yes because he has spirituals. So I could clear the section over and so he spent the rest of the time.
What he was?
17.
Wow.
Just
17 years old. What was his ambition?
He wanted to learn 3 different things because he wanted to have his own business. Forms and cloud, have everything in forms and cloud.
What trade?
Everything he was going to do, like ceiling,
right, yeah.
tile, ceiling tiling, and electricals.
Good. Very ambitious young man.
Very. He don't drink. He don't smoke. He don't gamble. Everybody that see he's very unfortunate because
he was the only son?
No, I have 2 sons. One is 27 and he is 17.
So, how would he spend most of his time?
Most of his time he would spend it inside. He would be inside. He would still come out in my line a little. But there's home, you understand it in the line. No one again.
And he went out of line that Saturday night?
Yes.
Right.
And my son coming home. He called his sister and say, Liz, I'm coming home just now. I guess I'm going to she's been saying my phone on 6%. She says, she tells me, okay, well, when they come and waiting, some hot topic to them because they close it.
Right, who is she? Wow, yeah. Big sister, big brother, little sister.
She said that she's best friend. She's
Yes.
brother and she's best friend. He know everything about you. She knows.
Good guidance.
You understand? She said that is the person who has been advice.
Yes.
You understand? You're very, very,
Wow.
very close. If you watch pictures, you will see pictures. Anyway, he going anywhere to line because he don't go like out of the area.
Right.
Might have something wrong. You can't really sister. They might go in a look. By school, he wants his sister to go. I don't send she anywhere but over here. You understand? So she's execute these children.
Execute them. And they are attempting to kill everybody. They want to kill everybody.
One child pick up in left. My son took a fight. The move on
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, put the camera on me. And so what happens in the community? We have people who know people who talk about people. But people outside the community who don't know nobody, but want to talk about people inside as even know about people inside here. You ever live in the beater? You know these people, but you want to say, nah man, they deserve that. Based on the account of these parents. These are good people.
This is the autopsy.
Autopsy report here. Wow. Leonardo Scott Brandon Williams, male, 17. Occupation, none. Cause of death, multiple gunshot injuries to back, a right buttock, and a right forearm. Police are wicked. Commissioner Police, you need to suspend these guys immediately.
But he was waiting on the ID. They call him Friday and tell him the ID ready. Say Monday.
This is a young man here.
He say Monday.
Fill out the form, say, see that here?
He say Monday I will go and get
On the
the
5th Street
ID
beat 'em. Hobbies, football. That's the man hobbies. Not shooting people, not robbing people. Stop discriminating against these people. Stop stigmatizing them. Yeah? The man went to school, Mova Lavantil school. Sex school. Subjects, food and nutrition. The man had to cook. What nonsense are you talking about? It's no God, man. It's a man with cooking, doing things with your hand and your feet. Well, don't want to come and give beat on people bad name. Well, we moving here now, you know. We live inside here now. So give me bad name too. We live inside here now. The man sign up before me, nice. The man find up his form inside there, one form sign up. Next form here. Yeah? The man sign up before me again here. Man, recommendation. This is certified, you know, Williams is in the process of enrolling in the Civilian Conservation Corps cycle. No gang. Let me talk to him a little bit, just in my face. Is that not gang, you Williams? Not Williams, you Jacob. These guys are not gang member here. You're treating everybody in Tobago with the same brush. And what gave me upset is that you are not upset when your men kill. When your men kill, you walking about. Giving condolences. Condolences, my whatever. We don't want no condolences from you. We want justice. That's what we want? What condolences what? We don't want no condolences, bro. Give the people justice. This is a young man who died on untimely death. Watch, the man sign up to join the Civilian Conservation Corps. No gang. No gang. The man sign up for this. Although we kill them in this country, you know. Men has died and I don't flip the page. New story now. Not in the beta. This must remain the story. If in America, George Floyd was killed by the police and the whole America raised up, then the whole of Beatham, the whole of Silas, the whole of Lavantil, the whole of Port of Spain, Diego Martin, Sawa must rise up. Who next? Who next? Is it me? Is it you? And like the police love to kill people in motorcar, so they can't defend themselves. It's the same thing they do in Second Caledonia, you know. You shoot at the vehicle. There we see a man here, signed up in National Insurance Form. The man with production. And we just come and see, some people don't want nothing. The man trying. Thank you, mommy. Oh, let's see the autopsy report there. Let's go back to that day. Watch your autopsy report there. Watch. Multiple gunshot injuries in the back right buttock. Let me show them this. That is the right back buttock. When a man sit down in a car, sit down like this in a car, when he pose them shit in low for, in the man a right buttock. Wow. Right forearm. So they spray. They spray the man. What's that one shot in? Back, bottom, back and forearm. Certified by Dr. Roston Williams, cousin phase 5, beat them whatever. How much shots the man pick up? 5 shots. Well, let's shame on ourselves. That's the kind of people the police force stealing out. Men who should have been sons, men who should be fathers, men who should be husbands. These are the people that you know, like killers. Them guys wasn't, them police went into kill mode. Yeah. Because if a rubber man vehicle is one thing, the rubber man vehicle is one thing. Well, jump out now. Show on the vehicle now. Ask them to come out now. It's wickedness. They should charge them for lying. Lying. Because they beat them children now, little black children now. You know what I mean? Why? They might kill him or what? Okay. Can they kill him too? Everyone from St. Babs? We going to Vegas now. So can you wait later? And you wait later too. As part of my love and support, I will jump 100%. You know? And this can't end like this. We want justice.
Them not know about Jaja. Say them a Muslim, and them not know about.
You listen to the voice of Watson Solomon Duke in Helyard Beatum today. He says he has moved into the community and he will be attending the wake tonight. Now, you see the theatrics and the theater and the antics in a serious issue like this, I could do it out. And any right-thinking person who means the family well would have attended this meeting in regular clothes and not in a campaign jersey. Because the minute you approach the family in a campaign jersey, it says to me that you're campaigning. Now these people, they lost their son. The entire community is grieving. People want answers. And instead of you going there as you claim to have now been a resident of Beatum, and up to now I don't know why the THA is paying this man because he is in Trinidad every chance he gets. I don't know what the hell going on in Roxborough, but let me focus on the issue. I don't understand it. So you would have gone there to show sympathy and support for the family, but you show up in a PDP jersey with all the theater and the antics. All the antics. All the theatrics. Lights, camera, look me, I reach. I live in here now. I in the wake later. We must stand up. Now tell me, what type of individual campaign on dead people and their family's emotions. But that's not normal, man. You have to have some standard and some class in this thing. What is that about? Had you truly care about the pains and the concerns of the family, you would have gone there in a regular jersey and you sit down and you talk to the family off camera. And you say, moms, you know, I'm real sorry for what you're going through. And how could we assist, mom? You know, we have some candle. We brought some bread for the week. But you go on there to chain up the people. Look me, I come, I reach. It's only me all you're seeing, you know. What are you making a fool out of the people suffering for? What are you doing that for? That's not nice. You stand up, you read out resume. Look, he was a good boy. Watch him here, look. Look, look, look. Here, watch, look. What are you doing that for? What is that? For votes? In Heliard? Now, people, maybe it's just me. Because I don't profess to be perfect. In fact, I am far from. But what is your thoughts on what you just saw, and people on radio, on what you just heard of Watson Duke speaking to the mother of one of the deceased in Heliard? Do you think he was politicizing this thing? How you look at it? Maybe it's just me. And like I said, I'm not perfect. So maybe it's just me. I want to get your thoughts on this issue. We're going to go to the phone lines.
Every man responsible for him decision.
3420081. 4665391. WhatsApp 7711791. Every line is lit. Let's go. You're live.
Good afternoon again, Aisha.
Good afternoon again.
Full politics. That man just put on a full politics. That is what he was doing. You understand? He ain't going with no sorrow, you know, at all. You're giving away so much of bread. Why don't you walk with some bread and some cheese and things like that? Eh? You're going and playing with a PDP judge, playing the fool. Think it easy?
Thank you, PNM Jama. Caller, you live.
I should have murdered them youths and them. They murdered them youths. Look at the autopsy. The autopsy says that they were shot from behind. They get shots behind their head, in the back, in the buttocks. Now, let me talk sense, Aisha. Let me talk sense. You shooting behind police, right? If you shooting from behind, you shooting at the police and them, and you're supposed to turn your body towards the car, the police and them driving. So if them police and them shoot them guys, and as I say, the guys were shooting back, and them guys supposed to pick up in the chest, in the shoulder, in the forehead somewhere there, in the belly, because they had to turn the body. It was a boomerang shooting, now Aisha. They were shooting in front. The youths and them were shooting in front, and the bullet make a somersault and went at the back and hit the police car. What kind of nonsense and stupidness is this police and them talking, boy? Just to cover up this thing, boy. Just like they do with the partner. The police would have killed their own partner, boy, and then they try to cover it up and say the youth man shoot behind them. Aisha, them fellas and them need to...
Caller, you live.
Good afternoon, Aisha.
How you doing, man?
Well, good afternoon, and the Bigo. Well, you see, the commercial business, because Sinbad, you're going to play just now. So you will be in Sinbad, you will be in the week, same time. And I hear give away jersey. I tell people, this bread that this man giving out, have something in it to have them, have the people. How come you go buy food and get bread? How come you go standing and get bread? You're going around in that area and you're giving people bread with some kind of, as they say, something inside it to get them kind of notice. This football, Mr. Queen him, Watson Duke, behave yourself. And only what I wanted to do is come for the big ceremony that they get Falby and the Sharon. And Mr. Falby went sleeping instead of doing the people what he's supposed to do. All the people lost in the work in Tobago. That's why I wanted to fix. You come to Tobago to handbook the youth and the rile up people in our area, and it's not you getting killed when time comes, you know there, and then listen, Mr. Watson, give you a chance. Tobago play and Tobago love you. Only kick out Watson, you can do it, but you can't get from Tobago to play that.
Supposed to be behind no desk duty, them fellas them supposed to be suspended without pay until case call and them fellas thrown in jail, Aisha. Trust me on that. Once them fellas and them get shoot behind the back, behind the head, in the buttocks, them fellas wasn't shooting back at nothing. Nothing, Aisha. Them police and them just wicked. There's murder them youths and them.
Somebody on the live is saying, Aisha, did you just read that the family have a lawyer called Umlala? Yeah, according to the Newsday. The 15-year-old boy who was on the scene is traumatized, according to Newsday, to return to the scene of the incident, and he has told his attorney Umlala that he was still distraught to speak publicly or even return to the scene. All you feel, some people not using every angle to make this thing about politics and not about the family. Well, you sit down, righty. Caller, you live.
Hi, good afternoon, Aisha. Of course, we're politics.
How
I
you
want
doing?
the caller with the nonsensical view about shooting a police vehicle to hush his mouth. Now, while an investigation taking place, because Aisha coming on the heels of the police being wrong in the shooting in the West, there will be an interest in this particular shooting. And if the police is wrong here, now Watson Duke is not, I want to warn the people of Vietnam, it's better get a lawyer. And try to get a lawyer outside of the political circle. Forget Watson Duke. Watson Duke, successful in Tobago, he wants to transcend it into Trinidad with desperation. He could do that, no problem. Watson Duke cannot help you all. In America, when you have shooting that we believe is wrong, they get a civil rights lawyer. In Trinidad, Vietnam people try to get a lawyer. Right? Not even like I don't believe in the UNC lawyers, because they will always see the police law from a political standpoint. It's Dr. Rowley police. That's how they're going to move, you know. That's why Watson you can find it still there, because the police is an independent body. You get a lawyer to seek the people's interest until the investigation comes out, and if the police is wrong, then you have the legal part of it to sue the Attorney General. That's how it is. That's all, you know, for the people's interest. And we take it from there. But that's it. But the guy you're talking about shooting police, brother man, once one shot follow from a car going, if the police chasing, and anybody shooting back, the police with an empty bullet in the car. All over the world does do that. So I want you to hush your mouth. But what I want you to understand, wait until the investigation comes out, and let's see if the police is wrong in this incident. I will do that. But for those who blaming the police and everything, or even blaming the guys, we should wait. And Aisha, people from Bethlehem or any village where shooting occurs for the police, don't take Watson Duke and listen, keep away from a UNC lawyer. That's all I'm going to do. All the best.
But the same way that Watson Duke has presented himself to the community is the same way that them lawyers lining up to represent them down there too. Because now everybody loves Beaton people. You see that little performance will happen in Tongue Monday? Oh God, they love them bad, you know. You will notice the amount of support they got for that little upstaging. I would use that word, upstaging. The other day, well, if all you ain't know, all you better know now. And my only regret, here's what my only regret is. We just leave way for them to run in. That is my only regret. Here when I realized this thing was political, and that they were supporting and cheering on the havoc that was taking place in the country. You see, when Skippy, Barrington Skippy Thomas, got on his Facebook page and told, let me see if I could find the post so I could read it for all, yeah? Because I don't want all you to feel I'm making this up, eh? Skippy. When Skippy got on his Facebook page and told the people of Beetham Gardens to stand tall, in other words, I support you. In fact, I may even join you. I said, nah. Something ain't making sense here. This story missing parts. I said that to myself. They had an unusual amount of support from people who I did not expect. However, so be it. Lives are lost. Maybe that would have changed their mentality, and I have no problem with that. The family needs support. The family needs legal advice. The family needs help. No problem. But you see the ones who going in there with ill intentions to politicize the death of these children, I have a problem with that. And that's the problem I have. And like I said, my only regret is that we just leave room for them to walk in. That's my only regret. But I watching the vultures, you know, you ever really pay attention to how a vulture does operate? When an animal about to die, they just be lurking not too far by, lingering, circling, until the right opportunity to move in. And I am looking dead in the face at political vultures. Caller, you live?
Aisha, well, good afternoon, sister. We're going to see that.
How you doing, darling? I'm good.
Aisha, well, you're right on the ball, you know, Aisha. Aisha, this year, constitutionally due is local government election November or December. So, campaigning have already started. It has started with the rejection of the bill amendment bill. Watson Duke is on the ground, and as you just said, I try to focus, Aisha, we just said is so important. And we building capacity and building stock, and leaving rooms and leaving opportunities for, as you say, the Cobos to come in a vulnerable time. As you say, our vultures operate. A Cobo and vultures, political vultures, right? I'll be more politically correct with that. I'm not call anybody any name. And this is my concern, Aisha. Local government election is due in November and December. And Aisha, well, I just want to say it to young black parents, because it bothered me since last week. Is the black youth between 18 and 25 becoming an endangered species, Aisha, well? and I'm telling mothers and fathers, send out your children in right now. Youths will be youths no matter what. They will congregate, they will lime, they will party, they will do all sorts of stuff that youths do. Just the time have changed and the place is bummy. And I'm asking parents to pay extra vigilance of where children go weekend, who they line with, what cars they go online with, and which part they are all time. And that they must always answer the phone when they call them, no matter the time or the morning, or whenever you call them, and they give them some time to check in. Because it's sad. I am a black man, and I have lost brethren who have lost sons, Aisha. That same age, just going online and take a little smoke in our next area, as youths will do, as we used to do, and end up dead. Right? With rival gangs and stuff. If it's not gang, it's the police. So I just asking, Aisha, well, pay close as well. I know you say you have your them boys under rap, Aisha. Is the black youth in Trinidad and Tobago between 18 to 25 becoming an endangered species. Aisha, well, tell us.
Thank you so much. You know, I've gone up on Skippy page to pull the poster surely and see this picture and just looking at it and laughing. I can't even remember what funeral we went, but somebody did. And we were sitting in the front row of the funeral. All you see this picture, watch how I looking at this man now. My head ain't good, you know. I watching this picture here now and I laughing. I can't remember whose funeral we was in. But we attended a funeral. I think one of Gladiator relatives, to be precise. That looked like Zena Sidongi. Not Zena. Oh God, I forgot her name. She was a Gladiator too. And I sit down next to this cross, and my face in a mess. That's something he do that tripped me off. And he looking like a deer caught in a headlight when the cameraman catch this photo. I think this photo make papers. This was years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago. This picture make me laugh as I saw it. I gone up on the page to find the post and saw this picture. Funny. Caller, you live? Not there. Let's see who's there. Caller, you live?
Hello?
Yes, caller, you live?
Aisha, good day, darling.
Good day to you.
Well, I sent something on the Facebook, but I didn't call as I get to. You know what? You know the people and them understand he might be mama guy and yes, he's a politician. But we expect politicians to do, not politics. On top of that too, people and them, instead they know we can do. Right now, them emotional and them just glad to talk to someone of influence who they think, you know, so it's not think here. And Duke know to play that game. He played with PSA well, and the man has some kind of like charismatic kind of something about him. And right now, you know the play game, and people, even though you play the star, but people don't care about that. And you have to open your mind and understand this is what it's all about, Aisha. Thank you. I make it right, eh?
Thank you so much. I know I was not in love in that picture. I was pissed to hell off. I was just vexed. I was in a church and I couldn't cuss him. That is what. Caller, you live?
Good evening, Aisha.
Hey, welcome back.
Now, this is where the Emancipation Support Committee, David Mohammed, and they dropped the ball. Because this is not a political issue. Shooting death of people is not a political issue. However, I like the American model, you know. The civil rights people, they get on board with a lawyer to seek the interests of, it's taken it from an African perspective. That's how that's what you view it. And the colleague from St. James, it is a concern about the black youth 18 to even 35. It's a shared concern. Who picks it up? Politicians can't pick it up. The caller talk about the games people play. And this is where I believe that if you're correct, a PNM person can't go and sympathize with anything yet until you see that if the death is wrongful from the investigation. So people have to wait, but there's a little sort of desperation by people wanting to get into office. Watson Duke, Umlala, all of them. They see it from a political perspective, you know. But I'm begging the Emancipation Support Committee and even David Mohammed and they to get a perspective. This is where you cannot be political, but the interests of African people in the BSAM and all those areas, you seek it with genuine concern to lift the people. That's what you have to do. Not no politician. And that's why I'm glad PNM people be keeping away until if the investigation shows that is wrong, then you give support. Take care, Aisha.
Thank you so much.
For the community the way you are. Slavery get digital now. Ay. This is why your spiritual now. Wow. The Bible.
Caller, you live?
Hi, sister. Good evening.
How you doing there?
I'm alive. You are here. But Anderson tell me you're vexed with me. Fed up with me and you ain't going to take my call again and try one.
Anderson had good on his shoulders.
But anyway, didn't you see Anderson keeping Watson Duke in that video?
And you see he was the one probing him to come.
You see how that PDP jersey?
Yes.
So let me explain you something. I told you that yesterday. They're corralling us in a circle and selling us like cattle. Right, let me start. You see what happened to Boris? Boris went in with a girlfriend. I don't know if he married. He make a child with this woman.
As the young girl, he got married to her, I think, sometime last year or year before.
Right. In Trinidad, they tried Trumpism in Trinidad, right? Up to now, they're still saying they win the election in 2020. Trumpism. This one, in Tobago, it's in Boris. The same thing happened to him. He get married when he gets into office as THA. Understand my point here, sister?
Reading the play, I'm reading it.
And he have a large majority, the largest and the longest while. And what happened to these people when you increase the salary? So right, let's move on. So after connecting some dots here, I told you sometime ago, that a man, I recall describe this man as the pussycat or a pooch. You know who is that fella?
Yes, I have a feeling.
Right, you know the woman who ran with him who was selling she went to Pandey and cried under the airport, you know she? I not to call no name. She was a court in Arima. She was giving all kind of things, fridge store and all kind of things. You know she, right?
Right, I know she well.
Isn't she good, Anderson? Isn't these two people Anderson good friend?
Well, at one time they were doing roof down on there. I didn't know about that.
Right. How you think? That's what I told you yesterday. The finances are now going to PDP.
So are you telling me that we have a very own UNC party group planted in the Beatum?
Didn't Anderson was wearing yellow? Yeah.
Well, yes.
All right. So let me explain to you. They have realized that Kingsley and certain people, like the same one who tell them who send the voice message, what God? On that partnership, they had some merit. When the UNC come and lost vote, the UNC has now gathered all the guy had Hinduism in the party. Right?
Right.
Them fellas had nothing. Their intention is to try to bring the African votes to vote for the UNC. That ain't the thing. So, they take away the votes from the PNM and I will win the election. Watson, you can, as you outline, Watson, you can go there no sympathy. Watson go there on a political agenda based on Anderson and the finances he getting from the two prongs that I just described to you. Because how it could be one, just like the next one, you actually hear an address. One day he red, one day he yellow, one day he green, and all of a sudden, they didn't leave he didn't leave them leave he, and he gone back.
It's not adding up. The changing of the jerseys periodically, it's not adding up.
Because it's all about money, sister. I explained to you. Corrally together, these are the voices that become on a certain level. That's why that man go call and the police shoot up the car. So now it seems as though the government and Hines are police killing black people. That is the next. Think about when last we hear Umlala. Think about this. How did Umlala come to fame? Umlala come to fame with a kidnapping somewhere in the country with some child and a man kidnapped them and carried him in the bush. After that, he didn't call him how much thing, and he just disappeared. They're using this again to see if they can pull out the same thing from 2010 and understand. He go on here. What? They don't want to be tenants. How we find these people? Because why? As Rowley Jr. outlined to you, we don't have a black lobbyist to go to the parliament for we. But they, Hindu organization, religion, have a group of people that they call UNC, goes in the parliament and lobby on behalf of Hinduism in Trinidad and Tobago.
I have 1 minute before the break, Barataria. People, we're going to go for a break. And when we come back, we're going to take a look at the foolishness that our community is displaying. Look, mommy and daddy, good boys here. Watch them. Look them. Watch mommy and daddy, good boys. In a video circulating on social media today, mommy and daddy, good boys. People saying they're from Second Caledonia, I don't know. But those are some big guns if they are in the community. We're going to take that break. We'll be right back.
Today we talk about the paradox of leadership. And immediately...
Say them a Rasta, and them not know about Jaja. Say them a Muslim, and them not know about Utala. Say them a Rasta, and the boy not know a scripture. KKK, them a Muslim, and them can't recite a surah. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Nothing a go on for the community the way you are going. Yeah, change up your attitude and show some gratitude.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Conscious talk, where we are at and where we are going. After a storm, there is a calm. Where there is darkness, light follows. Where there is evil, good overcometh. It's Conscious Talk with Steve Antoine. Every Thursday from 10:25 a.m. to 10:55 a.m. It's Conscious Talk. Conscious Talk.
Job Optimum Health and Wellness. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Get your Bioplasma Diagnostic Full Body Scan. Examines all of your organs in a single session. 95% accuracy. It's painless, non-invasive, and affordable. Call Pastor Job at 350-2628, 767-1031, or 275-6300. Sick and tired of being sick and tired? Get your Bioplasma Diagnostic Full Body Scan at Job Optimum Health and Wellness.
Your child is beginning to discover the world. It's time to let them explore. Clim 1 Plus contains calcium, iron, and vitamins that support their defenses, helping to promote a healthy immune system and normal growth. After all, your little explorer has the whole world to discover. Clim, your love, their future. Clim 1 Plus is not a breast milk substitute. It is specially suited from 1 year onward.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it's on the way.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ill and you can get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the host of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
It's all about the fastest growing reggae show in the land without a doubt. Right here on the Street 919 FM. Each and every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. with yours truly, MC Duke, alongside Selector Kochi. So make it a date and don't be late. Rock and come easy, line up, link up, creep up. You don't know reggae rock each and every Sunday. Salute God Amari, King Selassie.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
All right, thank you so much for staying with me. Let me clear up some of your voice notes and your messages. All right. All right. Okay, no problem. I would do that. Let me take some calls and clear up some voice notes. I want to have a serious question with Oli in this hour. So don't go nowhere. Caller, you live?
Sure.
Yes.
Good afternoon to my darling.
Mommy, how are you?
I'm good. Thank God to be alive. You understand me? Aisha,
yes.
What I was saying this afternoon, they are touching on those young men already.
I'm not hearing you. You broke up.
The autopsy was done on those young men already?
Yeah, they get back the autopsy today.
And what they said, what they died?
They were shot in the back of the head and their backs and their buttocks.
I still want to be realistic this afternoon. I am acting on the commission, the acting commissioner of police. So with due respect, I'm a concerned citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. I would like to see the outcome of these three young men, Aisha Welch. That reminds me of Naim Dean. Naim Dean, may your soul rest in peace. The hear I'm telling you about?
Yes.
Same thing, got killed up La Hockett Valley Road in the river, got shot from his back too. Miss Julian Lucky was the one who did all the investigation, but then, she went over to the bar. You hear? I wait to see the outcome of that, Aisha Welch. You understand me? I'm waiting on that, and I'm waiting on the colleague who got killed in Amherst Plain. Those are the things I'm waiting on Aisha Welch.
All right.
Aisha, only God and God knows. Sweetheart, have a good one and have a good job. How's my boyfriend? You all right?
He better than me.
Okay, then. Have a good one, Aisha.
Thank you so much. So, guys, let me clear up these voice notes because I say I want to have a serious conversation with all you inside this show.
Good afternoon, Aisha Wells. Why are they trying to politicize it? I'm telling you, here.
Is this the king of the airwaves, Brooklyn?
Aisha, you like to guess?
Brooklyn, you are officially the king of the airwaves. You could go ahead and talk.
Aisha, I hear the man say, he coming for me. I hear the man say, he coming for me.
Brooklyn, I done let he know already. You's the king of the airwaves. He can't come for you.
I'm waiting for him to come, Aisha. If they think hot of the press, it's just hot. It be fire of the press when I'm done with tea.
Okay.
Anyway, Aisha, let me get serious, you know. That video you play with them guns and them is props. Gun that is making music videos. That was a music video, so that's an old video that they are servicing on social media. Them is like the boys in the Muslim from Trinidad and Tobago. They just have guns, they use props. So that's what them guns was about. But Aisha Wells, and you see the killing, you have to remember how these people work. These people work when they know millions involved. That's when they just come and take case for free. They don't care about people on the beat them all the time. But when they know, because 2 survivors or 3 survivors is still, the guys is still alive, and they know that the police is wrong, no matter what people come and try to curb and twist Aisha, the police was wrong, because up to now they cannot prove that no bullets no gun was used to shoot behind them, no shells, no bullets of the guys in the car, so the police and them is 100% wrong. Aisha was, the reason why they could get these big shot lawyers is because anytime the state will have to pay money, it does never go to black lawyers or African lawyers or whatever the case in the community. Young lawyers might be now graduate and they become young lawyers. They may go get that money. That money is going to go to the seasoned ones, who big name lawyers, because they will come because Aisha, there's witnesses from the incident and the state will have to pay them fellas. I always talk about the 3 men that get killed on the lookout in the Mova when the police and try to stop them in the dark to kill them. But they continue driving, and when they pull up on the lookout where people was, they put their hands on the car and surrender, and the police spray that car. Everybody dead, nothing happened to that. The 3 guys in Mova, same way, they put their hands up, they come out. The first report came out that they were shot behind and they opened fire. When then video camera show that never happened, what we hear about that? But I think this case here is different because men live to tell the true story. And at the end of the day, when the state has to pay, the money go to the big name ones. They don't want no money now from the family. They don't keep the family hand no money. They will take that because in the end, they're going to come out with the pocket fat because the state have to pay for the job of the police and them. I shall have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much. So let me clear up some of these messages.
I hear a caller say about don't get no UNC lawyer. Do you know, right, that 95% of the lawyers in China that do pro bono case is UNC lawyers, or people are perceived to be UNC lawyers? Or you know, Aisha, why are they trying to? Now, if a lawyer decide to go inside there and have authentic motive, well, that's something different. But what I'm saying, right, what this man say, or they don't take no UNC lawyer. What about the people cannot afford a lawyer? And the lawyer come to do it pro bono. Aisha Wells, do you know? Wells, do you know that is a UNC lawyer who was in prison some years ago? Right? Let a prisoner know that a magistrate can't give him more than 10 years in prison. That is an unconstitutional sentence. A magistrate cannot give you more than 10 years. And at that time, you had hundreds of African brothers and sisters in prison doing sentence more than 10 years than a magistrate get. That it open a floodgate. Well, I mean, them lawyers they make money off of it. Right? For years, and it was the UNC lawyers who opened that floodgate. Aisha Wells, a lot of African lawyers who people perceive to be PNM, go and see how pro bono they do no pro bono, even though the court appoint them to do a legal aid, they say their hands full. Aisha, even the court appoint an African attorney who perceive to be PNM, they say their hands full. How many African lawyers who they perceive to be, well, my mother say that, how many PNM lawyers that do pro bono case in Trinidad and Tobago who people perceive to be PNM lawyers? Go and check it out. So don't tell the people that them don't go by no UNC lawyer. Which one of the African lawyers approach them? That them they need assistance. Most of the lawyers in Trinidad and Tobago that do pro bono cases is East India. Most of them. When Mr. Scotland wasn't in politics, what you ever see run and do any pro bono case? When Mr. Hines is not in politics, you ever see go and do pro bono case? Eh? So what you can tell people, don't take a UNC lawyer. Some of the best civil lawyers we have is who always perceived to be UNC lawyers in Trinidad and Tobago. If I line after statistics will be seen in the court. Some of the best civil lawyers we have in this country is UNC lawyers. The charge a man for a gun off a picture is a UNC lawyer went in court and said that could never happen. Or you know anything like that? In 2014 in Port of Spain court, the charge a man for a gun, the police told a man for a gun because he had it in a picture and was a UNC lawyer, was in the court. He ain't watching the case and get up and say he go represent him, man. All the other African lawyers riding, nobody get up. So I get where I'm talking of emotion when I hear that man talking, so they don't vex it. Of emotion when you don't go by the UNC lawyers. Who are perceived to be UNC lawyers. And these are the lawyers who just fight for the case in the country and win it. And do pro bono case. I go on.
Now, I don't know if you have approached all PNM lawyers, that you know all of them don't do pro bono cases. But okay. Yeah? All right. Let me play some voice notes and clear them up very, very quickly. And as I say, I have a serious topic I want to raise.
Aisha, good day. Aisha wasn't just frontish with himself. Wasn't taking the people grief and making it political. I don't know why they run Watson away from the Watson looking for political mileage. You cannot be using people grief and make it political. That man is a dunce. I only hope he have all that mouth after the 2nd of August. Aisha, it is strange. The only way I can see those guys getting shot from behind, because it is straight, if they are shooting at the police, they will be facing the police, unless they were in the car, hanging out from the car and shooting at the police. And if the police returned fire, apparently, I don't know, obviously the bullet would have gone through the back of the car, because the car would have been in front of the police vehicle, and the bullet would have struck them in the back. So I don't want to say much until I see that video.
Thank you, my dear friend from Tobago. Let me clear up some of these messages very quickly.
This was hard to watch. Watson Duke is a narcissist of the highest caliber. Narcissists don't care about nobody but themselves. Wherever they go, they are the center of attention. It's always about them. As evidenced by this interview, at no point in time was this about this woman and her suffering and her family. This was a show of one. That's Watson Duke. Now these people, if everything they saying is true about them being shot in the back, they deserve justice. The police officers, if they shot them in the back and the evidence provide everything we are seeing, then they deserve justice. They deserve to be locked up. But that display that we just saw, you see come dressed in black? He's a vulture. Vulture circle where dead is. Vulture black there, circle where dead is. That's what he come to do. He come to pick apart the dead for his own political mileage. This is so disgusting. As a Tobagonian, this is really disheartening. This is sickening. What's in the people in court? This was disgusting. And I hope the family gets justice. But he is not going to make things any better. No way, shape, or form.
Aisha.
Yes.
Aisha, your only regret hasn't happened as yet. It's going to happen when Watson Solomon Duke becomes the champion of the underclass and the advantage. Then, and only then, you will have regret that you no longer is that person.
If you sit down and feel I waiting to regret that, then you have another thing coming. Because my only regret would be he didn't come and take it over sooner. Me, run out there to be champion of who? The same people who would turn wrong. And whether you do good or bad has something to say about you, I gave up on people a long time ago in case you didn't notice. Next.
Paula, if what you stated is factual, you have just proven my point in the political arena. Majority of the UNC lawyers are whom, in fact, representing the criminal elements. And if you're representing the criminal elements, it's a contradiction for you to be the Attorney General. You would not make laws to incarcerate your clients. And that is why UNC is not good for this country. They will never be. So in other words, they will always have victims of crime in this country when you have a contradiction and people who try to uphold healthy law as well as represent clients.
Let me play some more and then change the gears. As I told you, I want to touch on something very serious and I want all you to tell me.
Good afternoon, Aisha. These people talking about the young black lawyers and them. I don't think them young black lawyers can handle cases like that, you know. That is why them seasoned ones and things who perceive to be UNC lawyer could handle these kind of case. And they seen millions jumping up there too, because at the end of the day now, it seems like them fellas was correct. And them lawyers will win millions of them fellas and them, so them fellas smiling their way all to the bank. The ones who live in and the lawyers and them that representing them, millions.
Good afternoon, Aisha. Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I not vexed with Watson Duke one bit. Because if nobody invite you to the house, you can't come. It's Anderson who invite him there. It's Anderson who trying to divide the beatum for UNC to come inside. They all sit down there and play stupid. Don't blame Watson. Watson is an opportunist that what politicians do. Anderson invite him there. That's the person they have to go after.
Yeah, Aisha, in respect to PNM lawyers not taking pro bono, that is not true. You remember the Gail Miller who used to work when Verna St. Joe's Grave was a minister. She used to work in that same ministry, and they say they end up taking out the ministry or something like that and send her sentence, and the girl was mad or anything. Hines went and take the case and he win it. And the girl, they had to compensate the girl for doing that by the hundreds of thousands maybe, I don't know. and plus give her back her work, because I think that girl's still working right now. So they abuse the authority by taking out. Hines represented the woman and they win the case. So it have some of them, the lawyers from PNM that take this pro bono case also. So that's not true.
See them a Muslim, and them not know about Allah. See them a Rasta, and the boy no know a scripture. Them a Muslim, and them can't recite a surah.
Alright guys, so let me really switch gears quick because we will get tied up on this topic if we talk about it whole day. And let me say good afternoon to Joe from La Hocketa. Joe, how you going? I hear you have a real big football match and thing that's be going on up in La Hocketa. Joe, what really going on up there? I hear you bringing out the youths and thing. Big up your whole self, Joe. Right. So people, this is a very serious topic. And I need to find out the maths to see if the maths in, right? So let me look at it. According to the Newsday today, Prestige Holdings turns around record-breaking profit. $17.3 million in profit, according to Ryle Hamilton in the Newsday. So Prestige Holdings have recorded a profit before tax of $17.3 million for the first half of 2020. This represents a major turnaround. I repeat, a major turnaround for local franchise holders of the fast food outlet KFC, Pizza Hut, Starbucks, Subway, and TGI Fridays for the same period, 2021. Prestige Holdings recorded a loss of $19.8 million. Well, in 2021, people were still in the COVID, right? So they wasn't really buying food. The findings found that its consolidated unaudited financial report for half of the year ending May. Profit after tax stood at $10,817,000 for the first 6 months of the year, compared to a $17 million loss for the same period in 2021. Help me to understand this, people. How is KFC making that type of profit in Trinidad and Tobago? Now, this topic may go over somehow all your head. But if we understand where KFC doing right, maybe the people who are advising KFC could advise the government on how to get profits out of these defunct ministries and them. Something is happening at KFC. What is in these 11 herbs and spices that is irresistible to you Trinbagonians? Because according to Google, the largest consumer of KFC is KFC Independence Square, Trinidad. What is in these 11 herbs and spices that you cannot do without? I want to hear it from you. I don't eat meat, so I don't know what the 11 herbs and spices taste like, nor would I ever know. But maybe those of you who does eat it could advise me on what is in it. Let's go. You're live.
Good evening again, Aisha.
Welcome back.
The guy who sent the voice note, no, he's correct. Eh? When you think about the whole question of UNC lawyers doing pro bono, it is fair. Why I made the suggestion that don't take a UNC lawyer is not so much not seeking the interest of African people. The UNC lawyer will seek the interest of the political party. So when the UNC is in power, you don't get pro bono for African people. If you all know different, tell me. You ever see Anand Ram Logan and all these fellas, when UNC was in office, they represented African people? That's the point I was making. They're not real. They would go on African people train, and now I ain't give them wrong, because there's a gap. What he didn't mention, Aisha, is the poor way of African organization. It is almost non-existent. The African organization wouldn't come together and get a lawyer like the U.S. civil rights to represent African people in problem, or even, get at least give them some solace. So he has a point. But my point is, don't let African people be used. All the years, they'll go to the court, free the state paid, and so on. After, they're going to use it against the PNM, that the PNM will take care of the people. When they know fully well, it is not a PNM thing. It's not a PNM thing. Not all African people are PNM, But to solve and see the rights of African people, it cannot be the PNM. The PNM could hinge on, just like in the U.S., the civil rights, and they get laws to see about African people. Because the whites in the U.S., through the police service, are one of the most disgusted bunch, Police don't do the PNM, I know watching Marriott police in the U.S. what they do to African couple is the worst thing out, making me feel that the U.S. is not a place I should go, In Trinidad, yes, no matter who is in power and the police does something wrong, the African lawyers, through whatever organization, they need to come forward, Aisha. They need to do that. Because I'm telling you, UNC lawyers will seek the interest in relation to you getting free from the court and they get the money. But after that, I'm telling you, they're going to use it against you, same African people. They'll never seek your welfare. But I understand your point, brother. I understand your point clearly. Take care well.
All the best, Rowley Jr. So let me read some of the comments about the KFC people sending online. They say most people just stop cooking. KFC is open day or night. Ian Bristol said that it's mostly poor black people money is what KFC would have profited from. Let's see who's there. You're live.
Good afternoon, and former council.
Tabakit, stay one place. You're breaking up.
Oh, you're getting me better now?
A lot better.
Thank you so much. Pleasant afternoon. Look, let me go right into the editorial. You asked a question whether or not is Prestige Holdings and the owner of that franchise and all other franchise, can they advise the government? Be careful what you ask for and what you wish for. Is it not Christian Motte in charge of Prestige Holdings?
I'm not sure, Tabakit. I don't.
Well, let me tell you, yes, it is him. I'll tell you why. You don't have to go too far. That's one of Dr. Rowley Blue Eye Boy. When they had the set of votes and they had the one-man inquiry, that is the man Dr. Rowley put to her death. As a matter of fact, some of the investigative committee with one man, Christian Motte is Dr. Rowley, one single-handed pick person. So Dr. Rowley don't have to go too far to call KFC to ask them how they're making that money. You see the thing about it? This man could now advise Dr. Rowley how to set up business in the so-called ghetto communities. And when he's saying that, I love my brothers and sisters in this community, but let's put it in this way, speak in the vernacular. It is what it is. And I'm saying here now, if then that is the case, then most of the people, as the so-called activists, Rowley Jr., their stock, and I think he was way off anyway. Sometimes Rowley Jr., when a host put an editorial, not because you speak and you is a regular caller, stick to the editorial. Let me move on. So I am saying here, perhaps Christian Mute could now advise Dr. Rowley how to get business set up in the African community where they could now turn over that millions in profit. So Aisha, Christian Mute is one of Dr. Rowley blue-eye boys. As a matter of fact, that was the man to spearhead the investigation with those boats in Trinidad. Well, I'm sorry to say, I don't know what the Marabuntas will come and say after. Tabakit out and out.
Tabakit, you just look for your cocktail, you know. You just look for your cocktail, you know, Tabakit. So, people, it's 150 days from the 1st of January to the 31st of May. So, Prestige Holdings in 150 days saw a profit of 17,300,000. How? In 150 days? What is in it that we cannot leave it alone? I need all it to tell me I don't eat meat. I am absolutely sorry. I don't know what it have in it. But maybe you can explain. Break it down for me. There we go. You're live.
The thing is that most of us people don't like to cook. As the curfew, as the thing goes down, shut down, and you can move about the place. People stop cooking. You see in Kentucky run all about the place, call in and call out and all kind of things. And another thing again, with that the profit making. You see, with the government, people don't lose their work, they do anything, they go and they stand up, they go to the place of employment and they stand there on things. But to go on, when you buy Kentucky, you have to work, you know. If you work, couple smoke your pipe, that's the only thing. But we have to start, we have to do our own cooking. If you give any money to somebody all the time, they will have always have more than you. And that's what they're buying Kentucky. I know everybody talking about the next thing. You know the yellow box? Everybody saying, oh God, then send over the yellow box man. The man who makes the yellow box chicken, I ain't calling him. He making plenty money so he ain't saying nothing. And they're trying to prevent him from going to America for the airport business. You know the yellow box chicken man. I know like he is not going.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so Melly Matthews say I don't spend my money on that. Listra said dead rat and cockroach in the oil. I guess it's the best ingredients. While Cleavon says I buy it occasionally, but homemade I like best. Tell me, please, what is in it? Let's go, you're live.
Aisha,
Mommy, what is in this thing?
Well, I don't eat that at all. Life number one.
Okay.
But I want to tell Tabakit, anytime and all you call Dr. Rowley name, always survive, always fix a throat call you. Yeah, what telling you about always when I call Kit, you know all those people who is at this, who is that? Mind your business, Tabakit. What the hell you know about Kit Christopher Rowley? You expect your choke every time all you call Rowley name. I gone.
Thank you so much. I have some voice notes to play. I'm going to play it. All right. Lisa King say, I just cook every day, not me. Guys, what is in it that KFC in 150 days saw $17 million in profit?
Amazing. So Dr. Rowley responsible for people going out and buy KFC. Amazing. Wow. Aisha, I don't know how you just do it now.
With God and praise. Let us do it with God and praise. Let's see who is there. Caller, are you there? Missed you. 28 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock. We have a break to take. We're coming right back with this. Caller, you're live.
Good afternoon to you, my little sister.
My dear brother, a minute before that break.
All right, I'm going to be quick. Tell some of your callers, when they come in on the radio, they must have the fact. Penny Bakers. You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Fitzgerald Hines. Wages. You hear people who do for bonus already? If they know that they could only play music and anti the PNM, and I have plenty more names famous, so don't come on the radio, brother, when you don't know about Pomoro, you don't know, saying about no PNM, don't take for bonus. And quite recently, as a caller said, it was Fitzgerald Hines, all living boy, only hate the PNM, so that all they ain't coming with facts, boy. I have a school, I could teach you, know.
All right, Port of Spain, leave it there. We take that break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
I want to see you sing this one, dude.
Oh, good. Start now. Well, well, well. Well, 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 well.
If it's one thing I want, it's the government to press the man side of it. It's the government to look for the only people first. It's the government to tell me we are one more thing. One more thing, yeah. I want to get wild. I want to go crazy, crazy. I want to play a mask. I just want a pretty lady. Do what we have to do. But yeah, what I want to do. If I had one wish, don't mash up the place. Don't one way, man, mash up the place. If I had one wish. You ready? You ready? I want to love. Up to the left, up to the left, up to the left. Up to the right.
Caribbean people say that they're ready to play twice a day. Come carnival, we outside. Take a chip and you won't get wild. I want to get wild. I want to get crazy, crazy. I want to have a and I want a pretty lady. Do what we have to do. But yeah, what I want to do. If I had one wish. Mash up the place. Don't want me, man. Mash up the place. Lord, if I had one. George, you know what mash 'em up? Lo. You know what mash 'em up? Tell me. I'm a jail chicken outside, but you're greedy. Let me mash up again one more time now. Well, well, well. Well, 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 well. Hold on. All the people who really wish Carnival was the way it used to be, put your 2-1 in for me here right now. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize Carnival come again. Hold on. All you have to sing it louder than that. I want all you close all your eyes. Just go into deep inspiration like it was back in 2009 when the Carnival used to be the best. Let's go. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize sing Carnival again. And you're looking for your flag and you can't find your flag. Band start, band ready to jump. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize Carnival come back again. Everybody put up all your hand, put up all your flag. 1, 2, jump on them. Show me ya. Where you, 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 where you. Well, well, well. Yeah, well, 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 well. Thank you. I want to say thanks for giving me the opportunity to sing with you. Is I get the opportunity to sing with you?
No, I get the opportunity to sing with you.
You like to call me first?
Because you locked the place.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Pastor Hannah A. Pabu of Holy Spirit Ministries will be live on the streets 919 FM every Wednesday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. In the scripture, Matthew 19 verse 26, the Bible says, "But Jesus looked at them and said to them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Pastor Hannah is here to motivate you, challenge you, encourage you to walk in your purpose and destiny God has for you. For prayer and counseling, call Pastor Hannah at 728-5197.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
Better vision for your physical eyes, and through the eyes of faith, let healing arise in your mind, body, and spirit. At Natural Heal Ministries, we teach kingdom principles for living that brings the blessing of God to your mind, body, and soul.
NHM Professional Associates are located at number 10 Moody Stewart Street, Monrepos, San Fernando. For more info, contact Dr. Desmond Phillip at NHM on 349-3494.
NHM Professional Associates can be heard live on the street 919 FM every Saturday from 9:05 to 9:55 a.m.
This is the voice of Tuesday, Seventh-day Adventist. We are preaching Emergency Alert broadcast, which is from the Tuesday, Seventh-day Adventist Church. We will be featuring voices of brethren from different parts of the world, preaching the gospel, preaching prophecy as it relates to current events and the ending of the world. Listen to us on 91.9 FM every Sunday from 9:05 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Sundays. May God bless you as you learn the truth. In Jesus' name, amen.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ailing, you can get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the host of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Good about that looking like it real bad.
ready for that boat experience again. The Sea Champion and the Embassy say book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959 to 814723 or email us at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it's not wet.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Check out the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Law and You every Friday evening from 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer live on the Street 919 FM, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He had showeth thee, O main, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. In the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For further information, call 753-1133 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Thank you for staying with us. I'm reading the comments on YouTube and I'm laughing. Patricia McKenzie says, salty, my bag just like, not in my bag, just like doubles, it's not on my menu. Provision, saltfish, Karaili, definitely. Ian Bristol says, Pat, I guess the extreme, all right, okay. Let me see. Somebody say, no KFC for me, I love plantains. Someone else is saying, times hard, but they're finding the money to buy KFC. All right, they say it's finger licking good. Is it really? Let me know. What is in those 11 herbs and spices that all you just can't leave alone? Let's see, is there a caller alive?
I shall well.
My dear.
Let me teach Trinidad and Tobago and African people something. Now, and Tabakiti, you're correct. I should have had the context. And Aisha, I apologize. You know, you listen to people talking about KFC, and as fellow African people, how shall them out to follow the business acumen? Aisha, if you watch the employees of KFC, 95% is people of African descent. But listen to African people. Not only that, let me answer your question. Most of the KFCs now, the business is really, you want the meal, the recipe aligned to the culture of the people. So if you get KFC here, you might get spicy in Jamaica. Because we like spicy food with the recipes and so on. If you go to Nigeria, they add, I think, pea state. We don't learn that, but you know what they've learned? They go find a racist, the Indian people. So you have all of us going price match. You know, price match, the franchise for that is Indian people. Nothing is wrong with that, United Shop there. We don't pay attention. If you go to, I don't want to call business, it's too much. When you go to Trotters and you walk in, 95% of the employees are people of African descent. But listen, my African people today, if we don't shop, Aisha, I just buy a 12-piece once in a while. I just buy it. Because the taste, now, of course, I hear people talk about old oil. But since I know myself, you just go down all the other places and buy things. And I support my African people around the savannah, the Jamaican around there. Because of a point.
But Rowley Jr., stay there. Help me to understand.
Right.
In 150 days, they made a profit of $17.3 million. 150 days.
Yes, it can, because their clientele is wide. It's wide, and I'll tell people about poverty in Trinidad and Tobago. A fellow will be coming home. Most, if Indian, African, Aisha, they'll be coming home, and they'll carry a 8-piece. And you watch the amount of branches in KFC. Anywhere you go, you could be a KFC branch, you know. And in those branches, you only see about 4 African sisters working. Not only that, the brothers doing transport. My listening people here, they could make that, Aisha. I find they make a little bit. I really find they make a little bit. But I want people to understand the recipes in KFC now is aligned to the countries they visit. That's what they do. So let us take it easy. I like it. Right? I buy it. I don't overbuy it because for my age, I don't watch the oil and everything else. But the young people, they come in for work, they buy KFC because if Christian Mute or Mr. Mute, because most Syrians employ African people. That we don't pay attention to. So here we talk about oil and this and that and the other. When I go, my niece working there, you got to get personal. So I just pay attention to the business acumen and know who owns it. Because I'm telling you the other day, sometimes you go in an area, and I don't want to sound racist, you will see a people own a business. 95% of the clientele, if it's 50% African, 50% East Indian. When you go there, 95% of the employees is one race. But I don't want to come down on Christian, on Mutende, and I'll get to buy KFC and this and that. Where's the end? The recipe is followed by the culture of the people. That's why I get a little spicy, a little taste, a little oil. We can manage it as to how much we eat, but I will support KFC because 95% of the employees are my people. Have a good day, Aisha Wells.
Thank you so much. Be safe as well. Interesting. Let me see what you guys are saying out there in your voice notes. Feel free to send them.
Good evening again. I buy nothing that represent Prestige Food and Limited. Nothing. As long as I know that they belong to that company, I buy nothing from them. From since last year, I'm telling you that. I buy nothing from them. No KFC, nothing Starbucks, nothing connected to them. I just buy my Royal Castle, chicken at the side of the road. Nothing. I just support them. But my wife, when she go and buy things there, I just course. When I see something, she come home with a KFC for them, I just course. That's what they do. Fry the chicken good. All you tap, all that, and all you stop buying them people think buy.
All right, so somebody's asking a very pertinent question, and I'm showing a KFC ad running in the background too, and it's hilarious. So people saying, okay, forget about the excellent service because we don't really get that. And that's odd to me as well, because if they're making a profit, it says to me even the bad service all you like. Because all you say, it is customary for them to hug up the face, push up the mouth, be upset when you go to buy the food, but yet they're making a profit. So maybe that is part of all of it, you know. I don't eat the meat, so I don't know. But somebody made a salient point. They said, Aisha, you know, with 17.3 million in profit, their employees are still working for $17.50 an hour. They're working for minimum wage. And a free meal. I think they give them an option to have a free meal as well. But all you had to tell me, what is in those 11 herbs and spices that had Trinis? Can't leave it alone. Caller, you live?
Good afternoon, Aisha.
How are you doing, Queen?
Good. I hope your evening is great too. And people of Trinidad and Tobago have a good evening. Aisha, so I heard you people talking about bad service. Now, who gave any bad service? who working in KFC on the retail end of it and doing the counter service and things. I can't say I don't eat meat at all, whether it's fish, fish or if I can eat flesh, none, seafood or nothing. So I would not know. So I would only buy that if I have to with my grandchildren. But I'm saying, who's serving you and what type of attitude you go to? Because sometimes people come with you with funny attitude, and you tell them something they don't understand, they don't answer again. But I'm saying you are the one who go to the counter, right? So it's not the tough people, the people who behind the scenes. But I'm also saying it's service. It's good. It's something that you like. People criticize other people a lot of times for doing some business. The people they employ you. They employ your children, your neighbors, and so on, right? It's a business, right? I don't think that if we... I am just saying to me, I'm just talking about me. I don't criticize business at all because, from ever since I'm to the business as well, and I do business courses as well. So, I like the business. And that's what I want for many African people. You are a businesswoman and you like the product. Not you, Aisha. I'm talking about the people who complain.
Yeah, because I just like you. I don't eat fish either. I don't eat seafood. I don't eat meat.
Yeah, they like the product, and they're good that we are doing well. They have made a lot too, because my family also works in prestige holding. So I'm not saying that because if they're bad, they're bad. I'm not saying that because I have family working there. But I'm saying that if you like the product, don't go for the size after you hear the big profit. Let's get there and make the profit. Now, I wish there is a mall in Lavender. That gentleman who called from that area in Wall Street there, if he could spend on some money and they open a mall and do their own Trinidad chicken, you could call it Trinidad fried chicken, whatever you want to call it, I think we had something like that before. Well, we have our own too, with Royal Castle, but so I hope that, with Joe, the more we invest, we get employment, we get, it's business. That's our business. We make and we break. So have a good day.
Thank you so much. Anderson James say, Aisha, you sound easy to mind. No, I am. I don't eat meat. I don't eat fish. I've always been that way. All right, so Gavin Harrison says KFC Independence Square sells the most chicken for KFC in the world. Think about that. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. I did. Caller, you live.
Hi, so I don't think, good afternoon, good evening.
Hi, love.
I don't think KFC is number one in Independence Square anymore. I think it's Japan or somewhere. But we were the number one. Aisha, the junior one were on the mark. All of a sudden now, nobody don't eat KFC. We don't eat fast food. Aisha, we got there nobody. All of a sudden, everybody just cook now. Everybody telling you Aisha Wells, they don't eat meat now. Aisha Wells won. And I want Christian Mute to keep bringing his business to Iwer Station. Right? The bottom line is Trinidadians and the whole love fast food because it's convenient. The longest line in Long Circle Mall in the food court is Royal Castle line. So, KFC is economically wise, there's still a $20 meal Aisha Wells, which I buy from time to time. You can get one piece of chicken, a biscuit, and fries. You're still getting that, and your condiments. And the reason why Christian Mute have been so successful is marketing. If the chicken is KFC, he's always redoing his interior in his KFC from time to time. There's a KFC in every part of Trinidad and Tobago, everywhere. And the meal is affordable. And the marketing on basically every social media, electronic media, and television media. So it's not a matter, fast food in the whole is not good for you, but it's in moderation. And it's cost friendly to your pocket. So I said, well, you eat meat by choice. When you finish a party in the night, where's the places open except for the street vendors? This KFC, you can buy corn, you can buy corn, I say you don't eat meat. Like plenty of my brethren, you can buy a fries, you can buy a mac and cheese.
I wouldn't go and join that line to buy a mac and cheese and a fries.
Well, it's always somebody in line willing to go and they freak out in the car.
All right. Thank you for sharing. We just have a minute to go.
Yes, people. Aisha is one that's always ventured to the savannah and patronize in the businesses there. A lot of black-owned businesses are there. Soup, you can get all sorts of different types of local food. And one thing I can say, the juice is $25 at best. Aisha, the juice best.
All right, let's see who's there. You're live.
Yes, Aisha.
Yes, 40 seconds, quickly.
Yes, that is why per capita we have more diabetes and hypertension here than North America. Our lifestyle. The grease that we eat, lard that we eat, so all they fried it lard, All the chicken and chips are fried with lard. Eat it over and over and over. That's per capita, 307 million in America. We have more hypertension and diabetes here than North America. How about I see it?
All right, people, I'm out of here. Like I said, it wasn't in any way to downgrade the restaurant, but to find out how they did what they did to make that dough. I am out of here, people, until tomorrow. Be safe on the nation's roads until we meet again. Imagine that tomorrow is Friday. Yeah? Tomorrow is Friday already. Let's go.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Everybody right now, put your right hands in here. Put your right hands in here. Wait for me. Just wait for me. Just wait for me.